It is a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. But I really came on here to, I don't know, just say something that has been on my mind. And I'm like, you know what? This kind of makes sense. So earlier I was thinking about how, you know, how sometimes when you change, when God doesn't work in you and you're not following God and you're on your new walk and you're on your new journey spiritually. And so you're no longer looking for worldly people, worldly friends, worldly men, worldly relationships. You're not looking for the God in people, men of God, women of God, and righteous people to be around you. And so I've, you know, how we be, there's a joke going around saying like, this gonna be my first question to somebody, what's the first book of the Bible or whatever? Like, do you know God? Basically, when you're trying to vet people to see if they should be in your life or not. And I was just thinking like, instead of asking people, do you know God? We should ask people, does God know you? Because when it comes to relationship, and even in the world, like people say all the time, it's not always about what you know, it's about who you know. But I beg to differ because I feel like you might know somebody because, of course, if you want to know somebody, it's for a reason. That person is big, that person is famous, and God was the most famous person in the world. So, of course, everybody going to claim to know him. You might claim that you know God, like, yeah, I know God. But does he know you? Because when you get to heaven, it's not going to be, well done, my good and faithful servant, or depart from me, you never knew me. It's going to be, well done, my good and faithful servant, or depart from me, I never knew you. And this just goes to show that it's not about us knowing him, it's about him knowing us. Like, do you speak to him? Do you have a relationship with him? Do you spend time with him? You know, all of those things go into the account of God knowing us. Do we run to him when we're going through something? Or do we run to the world? Do we run to a bottle? Do we run to a blunt? What do we run to? And so I think the proper question would be, does God know you? Because it just goes to speak on how you live in your everyday life. Like, what does your real life look like? What does your fruit look like? Like, who are you really trying to please out here? Who are you really living for? Are you living for the world? Or are you living for God? This even reminds me of times where somebody gets famous, right? Or somebody makes it big or does something, has a huge accomplishment. Of course, everybody coming out the woodworks, like, oh yeah, that's my cousin, baby, sister, baby daddy. Like, of course, everybody gonna try to participate in knowing that person. They're gonna try to claim that they know this person in some kind of way. But will that person vouch and say the same thing and be like, I know them? It's even when people try to get you into a position, like you only get into a position if that person knows you. You don't get a letter of recommendation from a person unless they know you. You may ask and be like, oh yeah, I did so and so, I met you at so and so, but do they know you enough to write you a letter of recommendation? Can they speak on your character, speak on your personality? Like, do they really actually know you? And I feel like it's the same when it comes to us and our relationship with God. Like, does God really know us? Can he speak on our character? Can he be like, oh yeah, that's my obedient child? Like, I know they're gonna listen to me. I know they're gonna follow me no matter what. So yeah, let's stop asking people, do you know God? And let's start asking them, does God know you? Because even if God doesn't know them, that would be the start, or that can be the start. That can be the spark of them building their relationship with God. Because it might get them to thinking like, dang, God really doesn't know me. I really don't spend that much time with him. I really don't be reading my word for real. And that can be the change and the difference in their salvation. And that can also save you from entering a season or entering a situation where you're unequally yoked with somebody. Ask them, does God know you? Will you get into heaven? Or when he say, depart from me?